Welcome to another build review. This time I got the Trumpeter 144 F-117A Nighthawk. Developed in the 80s, the F-117 was the first operational stealth aircraft. The angled surfaces of the plane significantly reduced the radar signature. The Nighthawk can reach high subsonic speeds and was used by the US Air Force in Panama, Afghanistan and Iraq. In 1999 a Nighthawk was shot down in Serbia. The pilot was rescued but the wreck was left behind and is now exhibited in a museum in Belgrade. Nowadays the F-117 has been officially retired. That was enough background information now, let's talk about the kit. This kit was released in 2001 and you can get it for about €3 or $3 nowadays. The manual is clearly laid out in my opinion. There aren't that many parts anyway. It also tells you to add a weight in the nose of the model and down here you can see which colors you will need. And back here you find the instructions for the decals. There are two clear parts which are relatively thick, but the overall quality of the kit is quite satisfying. The detail in the weapon base is nice, the landing gears consist of one part each, and you can arm the Nighthawk with two BLU-109 bunker buster bombs. I really like the panel lines on this kit, which are well executed for such a small scale. Here are the weapon bay doors, stabilizers and the ladder. Unfortunately the cockpit does not have any detail, but the kit comes with a pilot, which really surprised me. The decals are printed in this turquoise color, which I've never seen on any Nighthawk, but the quality seems to be alright. The build starts with the engine inlets, which looked really dull, so I used my hobby knife to give them a bit of texture. That looked a bit better, so I continued with the cockpit. The fit here could have been better, and to be honest I did not feel like scratch building all the instruments that were missing. I moved on to the stabilizers. It was quite difficult to mount them in the right angle. Next I used modeling clay to add some weight in the nose and glued the fuselage halves together. The fitting could be better, but what do you expect from a €3 kit? Even though the detail in the weapon base is quite good, I decided to close them. Then I already glued the landing gear in place. Usually I paint it separately, but this time I decided to paint it later. That went together nicely, so I continued with the gear bay doors. It was a bit fiddly, but with plenty of glue it worked. Another challenge was masking the cockpit. I used masking tape and masking liquid. Then I primed the Nighthawk with Vallejo's surface primer and sprayed on random grey spots as a marbling coat. Then I seated the pilot in the cockpit and sprayed the model with thin layers of silk matte black that I mixed with a drop of grey. Then I brush painted the landing gear and the base. After a gloss coat I put on the decals where I had no problems. The only thing I wasn't sure about was this decal on the stabilizers, because I could not find anything about a squadron or a plane called E-Test Demons or whatever. Furthermore, this decal should have been diagonal, but to be honest I was a bit too lazy to cut it in 3 parts. Later on I found out that the Nighthawk with this serial number was the one shot down in Serbia in 1999. I added a bit of detail to the engine exhausts and unmasked the cockpit. This worked out better than expected. So after a matte clear coat I called this build finished. It was a fun little project, but I wasn't really motivated to add more to it. The cockpit isn't visible at all, so scratch building instruments would have been unnecessary. What I find a bit strange is that Trumpeter decided to only add decals for the Nighthawk that was shot down in the Yugoslavia war. So all in all, this kit is okay to build, but don't expect too much in this scale and for this low price. While building the F-117 I also finished this diorama with a shilka. Make sure to check that video out too. If you want to know what I will build next, subscribe to my channel and follow my Facebook page, Starfish Scale Modeling. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Bye!